Kiwi ears are making headphones now. It's a bloodbath in this space. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my experience on Kiwi Ears headphone. You heard me right, Kiwi Ears, known for their IEMs, is now entering this space, and we have here today the Kiwi Ears Ellipse, which is a $75 dynamic driver headphone, so another budget entry. But before we dive deeper into this headphone, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Linsol for sending this unit in exchange for my honest feedback. However, as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own and are not influenced by any parties. If you've been enjoying my content, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button. That'll help the channel a lot and I appreciate your support. The unboxing is relatively straightforward, where opening the box you'll be greeted by the headphones, and it comes with the stock cable and a 6.4 to 3.5mm converter. The cable itself terminates in 3.5mm and the headphone connectors are 3.5mm as well, and the stock cable is just okay. It's a simple braided cable with sufficient length. It's actually on the longer side, and it's a screw-in connector for the 6.4mm, and there's nothing to write home about, but there are better stock cables out there, but for $75 I'm not complaining. The headphone design is also relatively generic. Think the Bay Dynamic DT990, and it's quite similar to that, but with plastic frames and Kiwi Ears logo on the faceplate. Open back, some cushioning on the headband, very large ear pads and very soft ear pads as well. Very simple looking headphone design. It's not going to catch anyone's attention, but I feel this headphone can take a bit of beating, and with the material used, even though it's not the most premium feeling headphone, it is very lightweight. So just testing the fit and comfort with large ear pads, this headphone just rests on my head and I don't feel any pressure whatsoever. And honestly, for monitoring headphones, this is what you'd want, where you can be wearing this headphone for hours and you won't feel any pain or fatigue. So that's one benefit to this headphone. For the sound of the Kiwi Ears Ellipse, I feel they were going for neutrality for the monitoring aspect, but for the sake of music listening experience, they've bumped out the mid bass a little bit, so mid bass has that weight and bit of impact to accompany the music and give some weight to the vocal notes, but there's not a lot of sub bass coming through, and they've pushed back on the upper treble, so trumpet sound a little bit subdued. There's not a lot of that sharpness coming through and open sounding nature, so notes just come through rounded but closed in. However, that just means if you're sensitive to treble, then this is a safe sounding headphone to use when listening to music or monitoring them. If you ever wonder what a dark headphone sounds like, this headphone personifies that. However, despite the above, the imaging and delivery of details is pretty good for its price. You're hearing things that are coming in the left and right, and the position of sounds are audible, which gives the soundstage a bit of depth and an illusion of width, but the vocals still shine through despite all the accompaniment. However, with a headphone at this price range, it's just going to be a little busy on very busy tracks, so anime tracks is going to overwhelm you and classical tracks will lose some of the definition or subtle nuances. So just bringing in a few headphones for comparison, the FIO FT1 Pro is another headphone that is aiming towards monitoring and neutrality, and the FIO FT1 Pro is leaner and cleaner in the mid-range. Means vocal notes aren't as warm or thick as the Kiwi Ears Ellipse, but the sub bass gives the presentation a bit of engagement and fun, and the treble performance just brings a bit more of the micro details in the track to be more prominent, especially when you're comparing it with the Kiwi Ear Ellipse. So what about the FIO FT1 then? Well, that headphone isn't meant to be a neutral sounding headphone, so it's a bit different, where it's warmer, punchier, has a bit more V-shaped tuning, sharper sounding. So if you're looking for a V-shaped tuned headphone, FT1 it is. But if you're looking for a budget neutral headphone with a bit more bass, Kiwi Ear Ellipse. If you want a bit more detail and can spend a little bit more, FIO FT1 Pro, at least for my personal choice anyway. So bringing in another headphone to compare with, the Sennheiser HD6XX. That headphone is also warm, has good details coming through, and the HD6XX just feels a lot more premium and sturdier. Think the Ellipse as the inferior version of the 6XX in terms of sound, look and build, but the lightweight nature of the Ellipse makes it that you could wear the headphone for hours right out of the box, whereas the HD6XX needs a bit of break-in because the clamping force at the beginning can be uncomfortable for some people, but over time it would be worth it, especially with how it delivers sound, and many have attested to that. So I feel the Kiwi Ears Ellipse is trying to match the HD6XX, but it falls a bit short, but the price difference might be the factor for you choosing the Ellipse over the Sennheiser. So in summary, for the price you're paying for this headphone, there's not a lot to fault, because it's the kind of headphone that I feel can take a beating, is very lightweight, and it delivers enough from the sound for you to start your monitoring journey, and brings in a bit of fun if you decide to just kick back and relax if you just want to listen to music. So I'm very curious what Kiwi Ears brings to their upper tiered headphones, because if this was the start, it was a good start indeed. But if looks are important, this headphone will underwhelm in that department. However, this is based on one man's experience and I'm curious to know your thoughts. What are your experiences like with the Kiwi Ears Ellipse? Comment below and let me know. And with that all said, thank you once again to Linsol for this opportunity and to all of you for watching. Until the next video, take care and happy listening.